Be careful about breaking the law in Valkenvania. Catch the eyes of the local constable, and you may end up escorted before the judge, Alvin Valkenheiser, the ruler and rulemaker of the strangest piece of blighted land under the New Jersey sun. This is the wrong place Chris Thorne and his new companion Diane Lightson, two New Yorkers, find themselves in after taking a wrong turn in the wrong town. Confused for banker scum by the judge, the same type of people who hurt the Valkenheiser family in eons past, the two are imprisoned pending their trials. Witnessing the Valkenheisers' brand of justice in demonstration as criminals are summarily captured, judged, and stripped of their flesh, the two decide to escape in fear for their lives. Along the way, they discover just how insane the court, the trick house it resides in, and its presiding family are. Truly, they are both in for nothing but trouble. Wow, sometimes a movie is not really underrated, but overhated. Nothing But Trouble isn't the best movie of all time. Not even the best movie of 1991. I just don't think it ever had a time to shine. It came out in 1991, the same year as Terminator 2, Silence of the Lambs, Point Break. That's just a few of the movies that came out. There was no room for Nothing But Trouble to be appreciated. It bombed at release, only making $8 million of its $40 million budget back at the box office. Critics fucking firebombed this movie, and someone tossed a Razzie for Dan Aykroyd's acting into the smoking crater that was left after they got done. So, Nothing But Trouble has been hated for a while, but I think it's time that we change our thinking on this movie before we end up doing something we regret for the rest of our lives. People call Nothing But Trouble bad. Bad, I hate that term. Bad is too simple a term for a movie like this. Audiences honestly call anything that doesn't wow their fucking pants off bad. They aren't aware of what is really bad, in my opinion. I'm talking about the type of bad that I've seen after viewing many movies off the beaten path of film. I've seen things that take stuff from you on the way out of the movie-watching chair. And if you're unlucky, leave garbage behind in your soul. I'm talking about the type of bad that has no honest claim to the word entertaining, the true bad. Well, I think Nothing But Trouble is entertaining. It's not bad. Dan Aykroyd jamming out with Tupac and Shock G in their first film roles is pretty fucking amazing on its own. John Candy plays two roles in this movie, and he's hilarious in drag. And he doesn't even speak in one of those roles, and it works. Nothing But Trouble shows an ambitious world building that never, ever stops being inventive and wacky. You can revisit this movie many times and see something new in Auto Hinge, like the poems that are written on the signs seen on the approach to the courthouse. Nothing with this much creativity could ever really be that tainting type of bad that I mentioned. Nothing But Trouble's entire tone screams Pee-wee's Playhouse slamming into Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It sticks to that tone, and it's amazing at doing it. Sometimes movies like this can kind of put me in a bad place mentally. They creep me out a little bit, like Rocky Horror's overt sexual nihilism. I'm working on getting to a point where I can give that movie a chance, and that was actually the same place I was at with Nothing But Trouble. I had read the reviews, I had a vague idea of what the movie was about, I recalled seeing pieces of it as a kid on TV, and I just wrote it off as like weird trash. Well, it's not. It's wicked, strange, fun, capital word fun, mayhem. It's even a bit metal with its law and justice themes, the anti-1% views, which were refreshing. It's a Dan Aykroyd movie. He's going to have some smart stuff in there, and it's very intelligent, underneath all the zaniness. I love the fun, mousetrap-like contraptions and the endlessly creative sets. The pacing is good. I just can't find a bad bone here to pick at in this movie. I don't know why people hated it so much. I think, again, 1991, they had Terminator 2 and all these other crazy good movies coming out, and they were spoiled. There was a time in the late 80s and the early 90s when many black comedies walked this line between goofy, grim, and darkly weird. Nothing But Trouble is one of those movies, and it sits firmly with films like Mom and Dad Saved the World, Freaked, The People Under the Stairs, The Burbs, and The Dark Backward, amongst other films. I'm rediscovering these movies and finally recognizing them as part of a bigger movement to create dark, fantastical worlds that are sorely lacking in today's media. Everything feels too Disney nowadays, too controlled, too polished. I miss this type of movie. I like this type of movie. So, I have to give Nothing But Trouble 4 bone strippers out of 5. Back then, some people were aware that things were fucked up, that not everything was great, and sometimes it was okay to be a bit weird. Indeed, it was okay to be nothing but trouble. And it should be okay again.
All of these things are designed to frighten a monkey.